Welcome everyone. So my name is Jacqueline of Spirited Practice and welcome to our yoga practice today. And what I'd like to invite you to do to begin with is find a comfortable seat and sit so that your spine is nice and long. And you could do this laying down if that, is more appealing to your body. I just want your spine nice and long so that you can take some long, full breaths. So breathing in through your nose, pulling that breath all the way down your body to your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, engaging your lower abdominal muscles to help push out that exhale, but not too much, like we don't want gripping. Just engaging, using your muscles, becoming aware of those muscles working. And noticing how you feel and thinking about how you want to feel after we're done with our practice today. Setting your intention, so possibly bringing your hands to your heart center into Anjali Mudra. And bowing the head to the heart, heart to the earth. And then when you're ready, releasing your hands, taking them onto your legs or the floor, and let's make some nice circles. You decide on the size of the circle. So this is a great time to check in with the low back and the hips as you're moving, right? And then pausing and going the other direction. So how does your body feel as you begin to make these movements? Now, eventually coming to a place where we're in the center, and you're gonna have your hands on your knees again, or the floor, and we're gonna inhale, and you're gonna reach your chest forward, shoulders back, and exhale, round the back, chin towards the chest. Moving with your whole spine, and you may have noticed I uncrossed my legs so that I can really move with my whole body and have nothing in the way. And so that everything is symmetrical. Just inhaling, open, exhaling, rounding the back. All right. Feeling better already? Okay, so now from here, I want you to keep your right leg straight, and without using your hands, we're going to bring the left foot in to the inner thigh. And especially because we are at the beginning of the practice and we haven't warmed up our hips or anything, that's why it's really important not to use your hands and force the foot up any higher. Then you're going to take your friendly tennis ball, if you have one, lift up that left knee, and you're going to place the tennis ball under your bent knee, hip. Bent? Yeah. I think you know what I mean, right? So you lift up. Now we're going to take the hands onto the right leg. Foot is flexed. Inhale up nice and tall, and then as you exhale, you're just going to slide down that leg and inhale up and exhale down. And if you need to adjust where that tennis ball is, you're going to do that. So we have this passive opening happening on this side, and then we're actively opening with our breath. Just long, smooth breaths. Now, next time you come up with your inhale, we're going to bend that right leg, and we're going to move over into that left hip, right? So I'm coming down onto my elbow so that I can control my weight, like how much weight is and pressure is going into that tennis ball. And if it's too much, please don't stay there and force yourself. You can control your weight, like I can press down in my feet and lift my hips up. I can press down with my elbow and my forearm and control how much weight goes into that hip and tennis ball. And if it's too much, get rid of the tennis ball. Just use your hands to massage that part of your body. And this is a great time to notice where you might be holding, clenching with your hips. you're breathing still. Now, you can stay there for as long as you want. I'm going to start to lift up and take that same tennis ball towards the back of my hip. So a lot of times we do the back of the hip with 2 tennis balls, but I want to do a little bit more focus. So now, and I realize this thing might be in the way. So now we have that tennis ball more towards the back body, so behind the pelvis. And again, controlling your weight with your feet or your arms and gently massaging the low back with the tennis ball. And again, if it doesn't feel good, you can use your hands. Can't tell what's going on. Okay. All right, so we're going to take that tennis ball out and let's extend the left leg, bring the right knee in. And again, you're gonna lift up that knee and place the tennis ball, and you haven't used your hands to pull that foot up too far. The left foot is flexed. And if your knee is way up in the air like mine is, you might use a block or a blanket under the knee, because obviously my knees are a little bit different when I bend them. So you're gonna inhale, body up, exhale, slide down the leg. And of course, always, checking in, how does this feel as I'm moving with my breath? Do I need to, adjust where that tennis ball is in my hip? Let's do 2 more. So come on up and down, and next time you come up, if you have something under the knee, you're gonna take it out of the way. And again, bend that left knee. I'm coming down onto my elbow so that I can control how much weight is in that tennis ball as I work the tennis ball into the outside of the hip. And that's where my body wants it to be. Where does your body need that tennis ball to be right now to help you release? And remember that this is not meant to hurt. And you're breathing. And of course, lots of options. If you don't have a tennis ball, you can use a softer ball. You can use a rolled up washcloth or hand towel. You can massage with your hands. Now, we are going to start to lift ourselves up and move that tennis ball a little bit towards the back. And of course, this is your practice, so you're making this time and this tennis ball, if you're using the tennis ball, work for you. And you're breathing and just noticing what's happening. Of course, as I stay here now, I'm like, maybe we should stay here a little bit longer. So hopefully you've made your way towards the back now, the back of the pelvis, and so you're working the low back. And for many of us, the low back is tender, so you want to be extra careful when you're back here, and definitely, of course, I always say don't force anything, but especially when we're working with the low back. All right, now, and I'm going to say when you're done, because you can keep doing that as long as you want to. But when you're ready, we're going to take 2 tennis balls now and lay down on our back. And I'm going to say this now, like if it's too much laying down on your back, you can take 1 tennis ball and just work one side at a time against the wall instead of laying on the floor. But what we're going to do is safely get ourselves down onto our back body and take those tennis balls, and you're going to place them at the top of the shoulder. And here it's really important you keep the tennis balls away from your vertebrae. So you're always where there's muscle and structure, right? And And depending on how firm your tennis balls are, hopefully you have some old squishy tennis balls, and you place them under your shoulders, away from your spine, and you might start to move your body front to back. You might move your arms up and down or out to the sides. And if you have long hair, you have it out of the way so it's not getting stuck in your tennis balls. And then we're going to start to move the body up and the tennis balls down. And just my weight pressing into the tennis balls stops them from rolling away. And you want to make sure, again, that you stay where there's structure. So as you're rolling the tennis balls down your back, you don't want to go below where your rib cage is. So you're staying in between the shoulder and the ribs, and you're breathing and making sure it's not too intense. Now, eventually we're going to come to a spot where we pause for a moment. And again, you're making this your own practice, so you might move around or not, and then you might inhale your arms up overhead, and exhale them down, or take them out like angel arms, like snow angel arms. Or you might just rest and breathe and, have a nice little passive stretch with the tennis balls. So we're going to stay here for about another minute. So you're going to do whatever you want to do and breathe and relax and imagine any tension in these muscles in the shoulder and the upper back just dissipating out into the earth. Now, eventually, we are going to take out those tennis balls and then extending the arms out to the sides in line with the shoulders. Your knees are bent about hip width apart, and we're going to move with our breath. And so try not to speed this up, right? We're going to inhale, head and knees to the center. Exhale, knees in one direction, head in the other direction. Inhale, knees and head back to center. Exhale, head and knees in the opposite direction. And moving at your own pace and knowing, again, we are still warming up. So not forcing our stretch here. Moving with the breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. If it doesn't work to move either the head or the knees, you can just move one or the other, or move them both. With your breath. Now, the next time that your knees are over to your right side and the head is to the left, we're going to pause there for a full breath or two. And then on an inhale, we'll lift those knees back to center in the head and come down, knees to the left, head to the right. And again, stay here for a breath or two, maybe three, depending on the length of your breath. Again, on an inhale, we'll come back to the center. And so here we are, our back is on the floor, our feet are about hip width apart, and we're just going to start to tilt through the pelvis. So moving again with your breath, you press down with the feet, tilt the pelvis up, and then tilt the pelvis down. So with the breath, we're going to inhale as we tilt up, exhale as you tilt down. And always using this as exploration time, like what do you feel as you're moving? Now, eventually we're going to stop tilting the pelvis and take the right knee in towards the chest. And we're going to start to move that knee into as wide of circles as it works for your body. And you'll go a couple of times in each direction. And then we're going to pause and interlace the fingers on the back of the thigh. And inhale, you're gonna press that foot up, straighten the leg, thigh presses into the hands, hands press into the thigh, exhale, knee into the chest. Foot is flexed. Inhale, extend, exhale, bend. We're just working on this right knee, leg, hip with your breath. This is a wonderful way to stretch and strengthen that low back, the connectors from the leg into the pelvis, breathing and noticing what you feel. Now, next time your knee comes into the chest, we're gonna take that foot gently down to the floor. And in your own time, you'll bring in the left knee and start to make big circles with that left knee. And again, making sure that you move a couple of times in each direction, that you're still breathing and noticing all those wonderful things happening. And again, eventually we'll take the knee in towards the chest and interlace the fingers on the back of the thigh. Inhale, press that flexed foot up, straighten the leg, thigh into the hands, hands into the thighs. Exhale into the chest. And one more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. And then we're going to keep that left knee bent and bring your right knee up to connect with it. And make some nice big circles with both of the knees. Don't move too quickly here, and notice how you feel your weight pressing into the low back, so you have gravity in the floor working with you to do this little massage on the back of the pelvis. And again, making sure that you go in both directions, and you can hold the knees or not. Now from here, we're going to carefully take the feet to the floor one at a time. Again, the feet are hip width apart. And we're going to inhale. And now instead of tilting the pelvis, you're gonna lift the pelvis up, press the arms down into the ground, and exhale, come down to the ground. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. Keep your vision pointing towards the ceiling, even though you may want to look at the video, like I'm looking at all of you sometimes. All right, now next time you exhale and bring that pelvis down, we're gonna add in some movement of the arms. So connect with your breath. On the inhale, we're gonna take the left arm up, hips come up, chest comes up, head turns away from the arm. Exhale, arm down, head back to center, hips down. And you're just going to move with your own breath, trying to synchronize breath, movement of the head, the arm, and the hips, the torso at the same time, so that it's smooth, just like your breath. Inhale up, exhale down, no rush. So we're going to do one more time on each side. And again, just pause in the middle and notice how your body's feeling. And then we're going to roll over onto our side and use your hands to help you sit up. Hopefully you're not too dizzy when you come up. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So if you like a blanket under your knees, you're going to place it there. And then as you get yourself onto your hands and knees, so the knees are as wide as the hips, hands as wide as the shoulders, knees slightly behind the hips, wrists slightly in front of the shoulders. You're engaging those abdominal muscles so you have a nice flat back as you inhale, and there's going to be a little natural curve, which is absolutely human. So inhale is here in tabletop, exhale down towards child's pose, and just moving with your breath. Inhale is up, exhale is down. No rush, noticing all those wonderful sensations as you move. Now, next time you're up in the tabletop position, let's walk the hands over to the left, and we're going to continue in the same way. So be careful because now we're at an angle. So inhale's going to be up, exhale, you're going to come down towards like a side child's pose. So you're stretching through your side bodies and probably the hips and shoulders in a little bit of a different way. So again, next time that you're up in that tabletop position, we'll walk the hands through the center and then take them over to the right. And again, continuing to move with your breath. Inhale in tabletop, exhale to an angled child's pose, stretching through your side body. Maybe when we're off to the side, you don't go down as deeply. Maybe you do. You're exploring breath in your body. Now, next time, again, when you come up to your tabletop, we're going to walk ourselves back to center. And if you like to use blocks when you're in a modified lunge, you'll have them off to the side, and we're going to step that left foot forward, and the right knee is going to be behind your hip, and you might have your hands on blocks or not. We're going to pause here for just a moment and send your breath into the front of that hip flexor and the hip, and you're breathing. Now we're going to, and you're going to decide if this works for you, take your left hand onto your thigh and bring the belly towards the inner thigh. And let's keep that left hand on the thigh so that it helps you twist your body around instead of extending it up towards the sky. Long, smooth breaths. Now on an exhale, we're going to turn back towards the ground. So here we are, we're in our modified lunge, and you're going to explore lifting that right foot off the ground. And here, especially if you're on a hard floor, I strongly suggest having a blanket under your knee. So you're just lifting that heel towards your butt. And then carefully, we're going to bring it down to the ground. And then in your own time, you're going to straighten out the left leg and walk your hands back, and you might take your blocks with you and reach your body towards that leg. And we've been doing this a lot recently because it is really nice for opening up the hips. Now, you can choose to stay in one or other of these poses, or you can flow in between your lunge and your extended leg with your breath, no rushing, just allowing yourself to move or hold the pose as long as your breath keeps moving. next time you walk yourself forward and the weight's in the left foot, we're going to step that left foot back and then bring your right foot up. Again, the left knee is behind your hip if possible, right knee over the ankle. Long, smooth breaths into your body, listening to sensation, backing off wherever you need to. Then we're going to leave the left hand on the ground, right hand back to your thigh, belly towards that inner thigh, your body relaxing into this twist. Long, smooth breaths, using that right hand to help us in our twist instead of extending it up to the sky. And with an exhale, we'll turn back towards the ground. And again, you're going to decide what's appropriate for you today. We're going to start to straighten that right leg. Your hips stay over your knee instead of dropping back towards your heel. And you might reach your head and your body towards that straight leg. If you hyperextend, you might keep a little bend in that knee. And again, you might flow, extending and bending the right leg, or you might choose to stay in one of those positions. Now, again, next time you come forward and your weight's in the right foot, you're going to contemplate lifting that left heel off of the ground towards your buttocks. And you're breathing and noticing what you feel as you lift that heel up. For some of us, it's not so easy to get that foot off the ground. Now, when you feel complete with that, we're going to take that foot down, turn your toes under, lift that back knee off the ground. We're going to step your left foot forward. So now we're in our first standing pose of the day, and you're going to inhale halfway up and exhale more deeply into your legs. Just moving with your breath, inhale halfway up, exhale into your deeper forward bend. You can have your knees bent. Remember, it's all about whatever feels good. Now, you might use a block. We're going to walk the hands over to one side, kind of shift through your hips, hands on the floor on a block, and you're breathing. We're going to shift through the center and then take your second side, keeping the feet flat on the ground, long, smooth breaths. And we'll move our way back through the center, eventually bringing our hands onto our legs and inhaling as we come all the way up. And then let's find a tennis ball. Welcome to standing. I don't think we're going to be standing that much today. And so just rolling one foot on your tennis ball, noticing what interesting things are there. Lots of interesting things for you today. Now after you have rolled one foot, switch to the second foot. And just exploring and using as much pressure as you'd like. So, though I always say this, but we could probably stay there for a really long time and just keep rolling our feet. And we're going to stop for now and put your tennis balls in a safe place. And what I want you to do, we're going to bring the hands to the heart center, and so the heels of your hands are connected, the fingertips are connected. There's a space so that your hands are kind of cupped. There's a space in between your palms. Thumbs resting on your sternum. You're going to take the weight into your right foot and lift that left foot up. So really engage. The foot is off the ground, right? Your left foot is off the ground. Now keeping your leg and body as one, as if they're a straight board, we're going to inhale up and start to extend that left foot behind us and the heart towards the ground, right? But you're not bending your body and then lifting the leg. They move as one. Now on an inhale, you'll come up and take that left foot down to the ground, shifting your weight into the left foot, extending the right leg. And again, with your breath, inhale, body up, exhale, lift up that right leg, your heart comes towards the ground, maybe your leg and body are parallel with the ground, maybe not. And then on an inhale, come on up. Then we're going to do the same thing again, moving at your own pace, so weight's in the left foot, right foot is up. Inhale and then exhale as you move towards the ground. Breathing and focused. And again, on an inhale, come on up, left foot comes down. And it doesn't matter how deeply you go, it doesn't matter if you lose your balance, you just bring yourself back to your breath, back to the position that you want to be in. So whenever you're ready, the right leg comes back, and eventually we'll be in our standing position. So from here, let's have our feet about hip width apart, arms at your sides, and actually let's interlace the fingers and just roll through the wrists for a minute. All of a sudden I felt some pressure in my hands. Alright, so going a couple times in each direction. And then let's take that right hand forward, fingers up towards the sky. Hand comes onto the fingers, and you're going to gently, gently pull your hand back. Then I want you to stretch your thumb out to the side. So actually just using your muscles, so you're still pulling on your fingers, but you're stretching that left thumb away. Does that make sense? Then we're going to release and point the fingers down, and here you're going to take your left hand onto the body of your hand and pull. So we're not pulling on the fingers, you're actually pulling on your hand. And I have my thumb of my left hand right in the center of the padded part of my, like right in the center of the heel of my hand. Not that you have to do that, but I like the pressure that I get there. Then we're going to release that hand. It feels really good. I don't really want to stop. And point the left fingers up towards the sky, and again, pull those fingers very gently towards your body, and then stretch out your left thumb and breathe. And then let's point those fingers down, taking your right hand out to the front, the fingers on the front, I put the thumb on the back, and pressing the hand towards your body and breathing. And like with everything, not forcing anything, noticing all the wonderful sensations as you work through each of these things. And again, we'll release, shake out the hands, roll through your shoulders. So hopefully everybody's feeling good. We're going to do a little standing twist with our chair at your own pace. So inhale's going to be arms up. Exhale, you're going to bend ankles, knees, hips. Take one arm back, one arm forward. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, second side. And you're going to move with your breath. Inhale, Body is extended, arms up towards the sky, and your head, exhale down into your twisted chair. Your head can follow the hand in front, it can follow your torso, or it can look towards that back hand. Whatever feels good in your neck. Because this gives us a nice stretch for the head, neck, and shoulders, as well as the upper part of the body. Inhale is up, exhale is down. And next time you finish your second side, we'll bring the hands to the heart center and check in. Connect with your breath. Notice how you're feeling. And the last standing thing I want to do today, last standing pose, is to take your feet wide and to have them parallel. And again, moving at your own pace, we'll start in a five-pointed star. Inhale here, exhale, you're going to take that right hand to the left thigh and slide down. Your vision can be, again, following your body or up towards that lifted hand. Inhale is up, and exhale, second side. And moving at your own pace, inhale up, exhale, sliding down, and you go as deeply as it feels good. Inhale up, second side. You're just alternating, moving at the pace of your breath, noticing sensations in your body. We'll go a couple more times on each side. No rush. So the next time that you finish with your second side, we'll carefully step those feet together and make our way down towards the ground. And when you come down to the ground, I want you to have whatever you're going to use for Shavasana and a strap. So we're going to get ourselves down to the ground. And of course, as we move through these different parts, notice how your body feels. So we're going to get ourselves onto our back with our knees bent. And you have your strap close by. And you're checking in, how do I feel now? Hips and shoulders. And then we're going to keep the left knee bent and take the strap on the padded part of the right foot. And this leg, right leg, is going to be perpendicular to the ground. So we're not pulling it towards our body and we're not dropping it out to the side. It's going to point up towards the sky the entire time. We're going to open the right foot out to the side. And then you're going to drop your left knee out to the side so you come down to the pinky toe side of the left foot. And we're going to stay here for just a little bit of time and hold the position. See if you can soften your body, your legs, your torso, your shoulders, and your head into the mat. And notice, if you can, what sensations you feel in your legs and your pelvis. Now we're going to come back to the center with the foot and the knee. And this time you're going to take your right leg and point your leg and foot in towards the center. Again, still pointing up towards the sky. And then this time you're going to walk your left foot out and drop your knee in towards the center. And you're still breathing. Again, just noticing what sensations you feel. Now again, we're going to make our way back to the center, and we're going to take both straps into the left hand. You're going to lift up your left foot and possibly take your right hand and reach for that left foot and bring the left knee down to the ground. For some of us, the hand won't come to the foot and you just bring your knee down. That's part of our anchor. You relax the shoulders and the head and ever so slowly start to walk the right leg across the body, not letting it drop to the floor. Walk your hand down the strap so that you can help hold that leg off the ground. Engage your core here. And you're going to take that top hip and buttock and press it away from your torso like you're making your body long. Relax the head and shoulders. Continue to breathe. So on an inhale, we're going to very carefully lift that leg up, let go of your left foot, and bring your left foot flat on the floor. We're going to take the strap off the right leg and bring your foot down to the ground, and you're going to notice how you feel. Some people prefer to extend their legs out to feel what's happening in their pelvis here. And then after you have observed, we'll extend the left leg up with, again, the strap around the padded part of the left foot. The right leg will stay bent with that foot flat on the ground. And we're going to keep the leg perpendicular to the ground as you turn the leg and the foot out, and then open your right knee out to the pinky toe side of the foot. And you're going to breathe and notice how you're holding your strap. Try not to allow it to be too stressful for your arm and your shoulder and your hand. And again, softening the body, softening the breath. Let's bring the right knee up, left leg back to the center. Then we're going to turn the left foot and leg in towards the center, trying to keep that foot flat. So some of you, that foot will start to sickle where your pinky toe goes up towards the sky. Try not to let that happen. Walk your right foot out, drop that right knee in towards the center. Long, smooth breaths. Imagining that with each exhale, any tension in your mind or your body just flows out of you on your breath. Now, we're going to make our way back to the center with the knee and the leg and foot. We're going to take both straps into the right hand. Lift up that right foot and reach for the foot with your left hand. Possibly bring that knee down to the ground. Relax your head and shoulders on the ground. As you slowly, ever so slowly, you are in control of your muscles as you take that leg across the body, press with the foot, and then you're going to see if you can press away with that top hip and buttock and lengthen through your torso. Breathing, softening, noticing all the wonderful sensations. And on an inhale, we'll carefully lift that leg, let go of the right foot, take the strap off. And let's bring both of those knees into the body and do little circles. Notice how you're feeling the hips, the low back, and your belly. And then we're going to take your thighs so that they're perpendicular to the ground, lower legs parallel to the floor, feet are flexed.
You're going to place your hands on the front of your thighs. Now, isometrically, you're pressing the thighs into your hands, the hands into your thighs, and you're going to continue to breathe as you press in and out with your hands. Now, once you are aware of how you can breathe and hold this isometric movement with your hands and thighs, we're going to inhale, thighs away from the body. Exhale, take those knees in towards your chest, yet you're still pressing hands into thighs, thighs into hands. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, knees in towards your body. So there might be less movement than when you're hugging your knees into your chest. Continuing to move with your breath. Now, once you start to feel complete with that, I want you to check in with your body. This would be a great time to see, is there anything else that your body needs before we start to make our way into Shavasana? Right, so checking in, what does my body need in this moment? You know, and literally asking your body, what do you need? Seeing what response you get, and then doing whatever that is that comes up. And then, when you're done with that, making your way into Shavasana. Shavasana, corpse pose. You want to be as comfortable as you possibly can be, so you might use bolsters or blankets or folded towels to give you support under your knees. Or wherever you might need it. So as you find that comfy place, asking yourself, is there anything else that I could do in this position to help me to be even just a little bit more comfortable? And then with each exhale, inviting the body to soften, giving into gravity, imagining yourself being supported by the earth beneath you.
So starting to bring your awareness to your breath and your body, thinking about how you want to move today to gently awaken. And then slowly, ever so gently, making those movements and eventually bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. So once you are seated, I'm going to invite you to bring your palms open on your legs. And we're going to work with the sound hum, like H-U-M today. And it'll be a nice big inhale. And then we're going to flick the fingers. So you slide your thumb up as you inhale. We're going to flick. And then slide down and make the sound hum. And if it's too much for you, just do whatever you want, right? So nice big inhale, fingers slide up, flick, and inhale, next finger, flick, we'll go back, starting with the pinky again. breath, voice. You can continue moving the fingers or making the chant, but let's do it in silence. And I realize that practice like that can take me pretty deeply, and so a couple of moments might not be enough, so you might continue that practice at a later time. So thanking yourself for showing up, for doing the practice. The chant that I did today is about healing, specifically the physical body, but also, releasing our demons. And so I feel like that's happening right now. So not necessarily like demons, but whatever that means to you, whatever that word connotates to you. And hum is all about healing our throat chakra, right? So allowing ourselves to find our truth and to express that to ourselves, first of all, to our families, to our friends, to the planet. So I thank you all for being here with me today. Let's just do a nice big Om together, inhaling. Namaste. And so please take care of yourself today in whatever way you need or want to. And hopefully I'll see you again soon.